Hey everybody, this is Doing Lines. This is the sports betting podcast where we bet on all of the sort of the not quite the sports of some of the sports, but mostly just one sport. I'm your host, Kyle Ayers, joined as always by my co-host, Austin Hoof.
Thank you for that. You know, when they teach defense in the NFL, they always talk about, wrapping up.
Mm-hmm.
I think Aiden Hutchinson took that in the wrong way, considering his leg wrapped around his. I don't know what I'm saying right now.
No, you got him. You got him. You take him down at his highest point in his career. We're here to make sure you guys laugh at the most injured guy. You know, the thing that I hate when people do this. First, I hate watching video of it altogether in any capacity, but I really hate when
that's the grossest video. It wraps
so
around like a one of those fun straws, that extend out and you can wrap them and make different shapes. That was
in the spirit of Halloween. Do you think a vampire saw that video and was like, "Ooh, silly straw"? Like if he would suck the blood out from his foot, it would be like a silly straw wrapping around through the leg.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. And maybe that's just because I got
That's not even the first thing that was in my mind while I was saying that a second ago. I hate because I saw that video when someone posted it online with just "crazy for Hutch" here as the caption. They didn't say he gets injured or anything.
No context whatsoever.
They were just
like, oh, what's this video?
So I thought it was a crazy sack
gosh.
or something, and it was not a crazy sack. It was his leg, two bones in his leg breaking. I also
then you put on something much lighter and just watched all 7 Saw movies, right?
Right. I just watched Requiem for a Dream at half speed. Oh man, it is so. I don't know what whenever someone gets hurt, and then this happened with Rashi Rice as well, where these reports come out and they're like, "This is about as good as you could have hoped for 2 bones breaking in his leg," and you're like, "But that's bad still."
Yeah, right. It's always the medical professionals on Twitter always tend to come out of the woodworks whenever an injury goes down and be like, "Oh yeah, this happened to my brother-in-law. This is really bad. He's going to be out for at least 14 months." Like something like that.
Yeah.
But I also hate the other thing that always comes out whenever a serious injury happens. And it tends to happen, like the Paul George injury, oh gosh, who was Ware? Was it no, not Andre Ware?
When?
No, what was the guy from Louisville?
Who's on leg?
March Madness. Kevin Ware.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
No.
When he his leg just snapped during a March Madness game, and we were all watching, and there's just
people would be like, "Can he come back?" Well, if they make the Final Four,
right?
People like, I broke my foot and I was walking 6 weeks later, and you're like, "Yeah, you're not them."
I don't love how we as a society we treat those like they're deaths, like the person just died. And don't get me wrong, I think the injuries are very serious and they're important and everything, and it sucks. It does suck. It sucks to the nth degree. But it also kind of sucks that people are like, "How dare you say anything that is not thoughts and prayers at a time like this?"
Yeah.
And it's like, he's not dead. He's out for he's out of work for 12 months. He's gonna get
workman's comp. You should, if anything, be jealous of him. His brain's gonna be in better shape in a year than it would have been.
Right.
It is this comedian Chris Calogero, who just had a album come out, has this really funny bit about when people call athletes injury prone. And he's like, "Can you believe that guy got hurt?" And it's like, "Yeah, I can. What's his work again?" Like, yeah, the guy got hurt at smash head into head the job. Can you believe he got hurt twice doing that? This guy's really this soft being is injury prone.
Yeah, it's wild that grown men getting in car crashes for 6 seconds every single play during a football game sometimes get hurt.
Yeah. Well, we haven't even explained what our podcast is. We've been trying
nobody
hard
knows
to explain
what
the podcast
it is.
up
People
top.
are like,
but that's Aiden Hutchinson thing is, I couldn't believe seeing it on a tweet that was like crazy play. Do you know what I mean? Could you imagine if there was a little video that was just like wacky end to these 2 flights, and I just and I was like, I'll watch a wacky. What is this? Another Sully? And they're like, it's pretty close geographically.
It is same city, actually. Same city. Imagine someone just tweeting out that video with that caption.
Crazy. Like what happens next may shock you. So here's what we do on Doing Lines. Every week we have a new guest on. We come up with 6 bets for the NFL week that week, and these
Mhm.
bets aren't your
Fake
typical
bets.
things.
Fake
Fake bets.
fake
They're real
bets. Yeah.
bets with fake stakes, or fake bets with
Mm.
real stakes, depends on what you want to talk about here. And speaking of inching into Halloween time, real stakes. If you're a vampire, you might want to watch out because
Yeah.
we have bet we wouldn't or wouldn't. Not, there's nothing there. There's nothing in what I was
No, no,
about to
no,
read
no.
there.
But if you are a vampire, these are fake stakes. So you can
Yeah.
rate, review, and subscribe
You
to this
can
podcast.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So so we have different guests every week. They get $1,000. They bet on our fake bets. We see how well they can do. Last week, Andrew Perloff was on here and ended up having $0 after all of his
Ky-
bets.
Kyle, and I know we're about to get into it. Can we just talk about how good of lines makers we are? Fake lines makers we are?
We had
Because
absolutely asinine bets last week, and each one of them was within point 0.5 of hitting either direction.
if there was a fake Vegas, we should be the mayors of it. We should be the mayors of Reno.
It's like if we made a line for how many times I'll blink this week, and we're off by 1.5.
Right. That
We've been,
like we
yeah.
have they're ridiculous bets, and we have made the lines so like the fact that they've hit so close just tells us like we've gotten really good at this over the last three
Almost
seasons.
almost should probably be mad about it, how it's going. We've really some of our fake bets from last week, just to give people examples. We had a bet called Drake May is an anagram for a meek yard. Will there be more 1 or -1 yard plays for a meek yard, aka Drake May in his first game? And it was a push.
Seriously, what were there any
There were
plus
none
one
of
or minus
either.
one? Okay, okay.
I want to make it seem like I had a really cool thing I set, and there were none of either. So that one ended up just being a push, which derailed Andrew's parlay, which was good because then I didn't have to look up how a parlay works. It
That's
didn't. He
good.
didn't
Yeah.
lose the bet. Basically, he tried to parlay 2 bets, and since this one was a push, he just won another bet, which was the Browns Eagles, aka Brown Seagulls bet. So when you hear Browns Eagles, you think Brown Seagulls, you think oil spill. Will there be
Naturally.
more spills or cleans as far as spill plays, which are fumbles, drop
That
passes, and penalties?
that was up there with your Dallas Love Fields of
I,
bets when
I was close
when
to doing Love Stroud for this week, which would have been a bet about a chicken restaurant in Kansas City called Stroud's. It's a very, very
the
good fried chicken place called Stroud's in Kansas City. But then I went to look up their prices and they've gone up so much I didn't want to warrant them being a part of a bet.
look, inflation even hits the chicken restaurants for
These
sure.
people grow the chickens in the backyard and then they cook them for you right there.
Look,
Grow?
but that look,
I
it's
know where
all
food
about
comes from.
logistics. Yeah, yeah, they grow the chickens.
Uh,
Um,
so the Browns spills. Here's let's go through our bets because here's how good our lines were last week. Browns Eagles, Browns Eagles spills. Will there be more plays that are fumbles, drop passes, or have a penalty, or more scoring plays plus the margin of victory? This landed at 13-12.
that was one of the more wild bets that we've ever had on this podcast,
Yeah.
and the line was that close,
And
which
there
is
were
just
more fumbles, drop passes, and penalties thanks to one dropped pass that put it over the scoring plays, which were 8, and margin of victory, which was 4 in the Browns Eagles game. So that one hit for Andrew. We had the good time kicks in an ayahuasca themed bet where ayahuasca takes 20 to 60 minutes to kick in. Will the Jets kick a field goal between 20 to 60 real time minutes into their game? They did not. They kicked one 14 minutes in.
Oh my gosh! So it was before, and I was literally watching that game thinking like, oh well,
It
this
was
hit,
so
but
fast.
it
It
was
was 2
20 to
minutes of
60.
game time in and
Jeez.
14 minutes in when I scrabbled through the recording on YouTube TV. So that was my but this didn't even matter, Austin, because this one had a caveat called the bad trip. If someone is tackled at the 1 from outside the 10, we lose no matter what. And there was a bad trip. Ray Davis got the caught screen pass at the 16 and was tackled at the 1. So he went for a bad trip and we lost that
Wow.
bet. And that was my lock. So I lost $750 on that bet. And you lost 200. Just going through the rest of our lines are so crazy. Bears versus Jags, the Paddington. Paddington was in 29 books. So we
This
set
one
the
was
over under. This is crazy. This is crazy.
this is the most shocking like outcome of the weekend for me, in my opinion.
29 books Paddington appeared in. A famous bear now, Caleb Williams, is appearing in London. Will he have over under that for pass attempts? 29 pass attempts.
That is now the third game of what they played six now.
Yeah.
The third game that he has had 29 pass attempts exactly.
All
Like
three
that
of us
is
bet over 29 and a half.
yes, because like I'm like, okay, surely they're getting more comfortable in their
Yeah.
offense,
Well,
and
of
that game was a
course.
blowout. Like
Yes.
I was like when I was watching that game, I'm like, oh, we're definitely going over 29. And it's past attempts too. It's not even completion.
Not even completions.
Attempts.
23 of 29. So that one was exactly on the money. So right now we have one push, another exactly on the money, one bet that was 3 minutes off but ended because of a caveat, one line that was one away, and then there's fantasy footworks, which is will there be more rushing touchdowns for Derrick Henry and Lamar put together, or punts for
And
Tressway?
Derek had a day too.
He did 2 touchdowns, 0 rushing touchdowns for Lamar, 3 punts for Tressway. So punts wins
Only
that one 3 to
three.
2.
That means that the Commanders have only punted 11 times this
That
season.
is
I'm pretty
crazy.
sure that the Titans have punted 11 times in a game before.
Yeah.
And here he has it all in what, 6 games, only 11 punts on the
So that
season.
one hit, and then will any NHL teams outscore any NFL team this week? NFL's low score was 7, NHL's high score was 6. So it was
Gosh,
also once
again,
again very close.
which
And that was our Will Levis meme of the week. If Will Levis is memed, that bet flips. He was not.
no, I mean, people tried to meme him with the Spider-Man
It has to be a
celebration.
natural meme.
It wasn't. That wasn't. People are enforcing it now. It's got to be a funny meme. You can't just like take a screen grab of him
Yeah,
doing
it's like
literally anything on a
when
football
a guy
field.
picks his own nickname. You know what I mean? You
Right,
can't do it.
right. This has gotten to be the 25 retweets to make this thing bigger on the internet.
Yeah.
It's like okay, it's kind of run the course.
Yeah, imagine doing that and going viral doing something like that. Uh, so let's recap the scores. Austin, Andrew Perloff, like we said, finished straight up at 0. He was -1 yard Drake May rushing play or passing play away from being up 850. But
Damn.
instead he ended maybe even more because the parlay, but instead he ended at straight 0. Austin, you positive $100 last week.
Hey, don't let me get hot, dude. That means I am at
Which
$100
brings
on
your
the
total up to
season.
100. And I lost $700 last week.
Let's go. Let's go. Comeback time. Do you smell it?
So that brings
Whoever
me down to 3,740. So the current score is 3,740 to 100.
to anyone who listens to this okay, we don't need to go into the totals. But anyone who listens to this podcast on a regular basis and is on Team Austin, hey, stay aboard the train because we're making a comeback. All right. It's kind of like being a Titans fan right now. We're down bad right now, but there's still a shot. The last time the Titans started 2-4, they went to the AFC Championship and had Kyle's Kansas City Chiefs not gotten in the way, they would have made it to the Super Bowl that year. Don't let me get hot, okay? It's been a rough start to the year, but don't let me get hot because there's still a chance for me to go to the Super Bowl, maybe.
Yeah, I mean that's get all on board the Austin train. It is the Amtrak. So you will stop in the middle in case a cargo train has to get by, but don't get and also if you're trying to get a seat on that, it's going to be an additional fee. But I've been thinking it might be fun. Maybe we introduce microtransactions to this podcast. And now we're getting into week 7. The Chiefs are finally playing again. Week 6. I hate the bye week. It's so boring.
Bye weeks suck. Bye weeks suck. Yeah, I don't. It's when your team is on a bye, it's the absolute worst because, like, it's nice because you're like, oh, I don't have to. Like, I know, like, for Titans fans, like, we're like, okay, well, we know the Titans aren't going to affect my mood on a Sunday. Like, I can just enjoy the day. The air smells a little crisper, like the wind is blowing through your hair and the sun is shining just a little bit brighter. But when you're like a good team like the Chiefs, you're like, damn it, what am I supposed to do with this Sunday? Like you get the feeling I get on a normal Sunday on your bye week because the Chiefs don't
There's
have
been
a
like
chance
some
to
weird
win
news that's
week.
broke since we wrote our bets for this week versus started recording now, which is Devontae Adams has been traded to the Jets. How do you feel? I love that Aaron Rodgers is like, I got to get back everyone I failed with somewhere else and see if we can't succeed in a new city with a worse team. And
it is. Yeah, it's literally like Adam Sandler hiring all of his buddies to be in every movie he's in.
I would say if we're doing this, it's hard to call Aaron Sandler, but I would say if Aaron is Adam Sandler, which you're like someone who just keeps saying remember 2011 and earlier, and then
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would say Lazard is going to be Kevin James.
yeah.
Maybe David Spade. I would say Devontae Adams might be David Spade. He has Joe Dirt, which would be those few good games he had without Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
Um, Robert Sala would be Rob Schneider.
Um, I'll say no. I'll say yeah. Well,
No,
What about Aaron?
no. Hackett is Rob Schneider. All of the
Okay,
way.
yeah,
If we're
yeah,
going
yeah, yeah,
through,
yeah, yeah.
if we're
Hackett,
going through the crew,
terrible without him. Because like Deuce Bigelow, it's like okay, wasn't necessarily did not have
honestly,
much of the animal, not much of
yeah,
a career without Sandler's
I would
help.
say
Yeah,
terrible without him, and even with him, not sure why he's there.
that's a great point. It's a
They're
great point,
just
and because
like,
he's not even the offensive play caller anymore.
no,
Literally, Todd Downing, former Titans offensive coordinator. Todd Downing is the OC in New York, which I cannot wait for Jets fans to get the full Todd Downing experience, which is coming. For Titans, it was
yeah.
scoring 17 points every single week. Now the Jets with a Hall of Fame quarterback, well, they one upped them and scored a whopping 20 points last night.
Yeah, but
So,
that field goal came too early for the bet to hit. But this does feel like what this is. Rodgers is going to be Adam Sandler. Like he's just getting
mhm.
everyone back together. This is Grown Ups 5, and all of the people who are already there are just sort of like, wait, we don't
Right.
work here anymore. And he's like, no, Nick Swartzen, you can stay. That's Brees Hall. And he's like, you got good wheels. And if you're just thinking that's Nick Swartzen in Reno 911,
Yeah. And to take this analogy even further, you've got everyone banks on Aaron Rodgers being an all-time great. Why?
Mhm,
Because of his early career success. The Super
mhm.
Bowl that came in 2010. That's almost a decade and a half
Yeah.
ago.
Mhm.
And what do we still talk about with Sandler? Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore. I mean, now I will give Sandler credit. Uncut Gems and some of his serious acting later on in life has been really top notch. Has been
Things we
good.
wish would happen to Rodgers.
That's like Aaron Rodgers 2020 MVP.
Yeah.
He's had some late, success over the
Yeah.
last, few years, but it's really kind of like it's like, okay, dude, maybe we should hang this thing up. No more. We don't need a sequel to Jack and Jill.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that this is a perfect analogy for what the Jets are trying to put back together. That get everyone here. I think we'll be pretty good. We'll have them, sing the Hanukkah song.
Oh my
But not
gosh.
just that. What Amari Cooper got traded to the Bills,
Yeah, Amari
and
Cooper.
I think that's such a. I mean, that's a good recipe. It's the Bills haven't had an elite receiver since last time there was a season, and that worked out
Hmm.
really well for them. And I
Hmm.
like that. Like, just get the slightly worse version of the guy we just got rid of, and see if that can't work out. The Bills
Well,
will hopefully. I think the Bills' whole season just hinges on whether or not Josh Allen wears down this whole year doing too much.
yeah, yeah, no, and I think there is something to be said for that. Amari Cooper is the quiet Stephon Diggs.
He
He's like
is.
the he's like the all the production without any of the drama.
Yeah, more drops, but
More
definitely pretty
drops, yeah,
similar. So we'll have to
right.
see what happens. I think, although I'm wondering how many of Amari Cooper's drops were just an attempt to get Deshaun Watson benched.
And that's my take on why the Browns traded Amari Cooper. They're like, let's see how bad we can make this offense, so then we have more of a reason to get rid of Deshaun Watson and that horrible contract.
I am all for all these other teams loading up on these players because how much more embarrassing is it going to be when the Chiefs are the eighth best team in the AFC and they win the Super Bowl? I think
No,
that
don't. Look. It's the
further down,
inevitable. It is.
you talking about
The Chiefs are Thanos. We know all they have to do is snap their fingers and they're Super Bowl champs, and then they add another Infinity Stone to their fingers, that being a Super Bowl ring. I'm. We know that's the inevitable. That's going to happen. What I don't want to
Mm,
happen is for these teams to keep pillaging the lesser teams and taking all of the good weapons that they have, i.e., the Tennessee Titans. I don't want DeAndre Hopkins gone. I don't want Calvin Ridley gone. I don't want
but what about the good weapons?
okay,
What is Calvin
that's
Ridley doing? One catch for 9 yards, and then does he go to the bathroom? He's gone the rest of the time. He's
Calvin
not
Ridley.
on any fantasy team in my league. This is where
He
Calvin
picked
Ridley is at now.
Calvin Ridley picked a bad week to go on his little tirade because he is like literally his stat line 0, 0, 0, right?
Yeah.
Um, he was also targeted 8 times, which very few people will tell you that. He was targeted 8 times. He had a couple of drops
Great.
on Sunday. Like it's that Calvin Ridley, it's like, dude, I hear you out and I agree with you. The ball should be going your way, especially early on in games. But this was a bad week to go on that tirade. Like you're frustrated, but you should have done this last week, maybe the week before. But you can't do it on a week where you're targeted 8 times and you have 0 catches and
What is
2 drops.
Hopkins' contract looking like? Because this is someone who people keep. I think he might take the problem with someone being traded to the Chiefs is their offense is weird. And so I actually think
He's
the
a free
most
agent
likely
after this year, so
I think
you
the
will
most
have to
likely
re-sign
Chiefs
him.
candidate is Demarcus Robinson in the Rams because he played for them already. He knows the
Mm.
offense already. Cooper Cup is going to come back and the Rams stink. So, and not even the
Well,
Rams' fault that they stink.
hey, look, don't rule out Devontae Adams. Jets could be sellers by the deadline.
That's true. Was that in 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't want Mike Williams. Deontay Johnson, I'd be okay with. There's a lot of these like random receivers. I just think that the best thing that honestly, I'm like worried MVS ends up back on the Chiefs or something. Uh, Hopkins, I feel like you can just tell him to do something. He doesn't really need
Hopkins,
another, like in the
yeah.
huddle, Mahomes could call out a play and then draw on his hand what he wants Hopkins to do.
I I have had a take though for a while that I'm a little I haven't made public, but I do think there is some sort of DeAndre Hopkins curse. And what I mean by that is when he was with the Texans sucked. When he gets traded to the Cardinals sucked. When he gets traded to the Titans, oh, I guess they weren't all trades. Some were free agent signings. The Titans have now sucked. What's the common denominator? Is it DeAndre Hopkins? Look, I'm not saying. I'm
Now,
just
what
saying.
are
Look,
those
keep
teams'
your.
records the rest of the time?
Well, the Texans
Also
have
pretty
been good.
bad.
Texans have been good since. You could argue that the Cardinals have been better since. And look, if the Chiefs want to take DeAndre Hopkins off the Titans' hands, maybe the Titans will get better since. I don't know. I don't. And the Titans were good a couple of years ago prior to DeAndre Hopkins. 2021, they were the 1 seed in the AFC. So,
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, maybe. It doesn't sound like it at all, but maybe. Uh,
I just need something to hang my hat on, dude. I need something to hang my Titans hat on because I want to take it off and I don't want to be wearing it anymore.
Hey, they had a guy. Hopkins had 50 yards last week. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was the leading receiver.
Well, to be fair, that was 59% of Will Levis's passing yards was
Yeah, 90
54.
93 yards
Um,
passing, which was, look, that to me is not a Will Levis thing. People are going to clown Will Levis for that. That to me is a play calling, offensive play calling thing. And the Titans, everything about the Tennessee Titans needs to be better, except for the defense. Top defense in the NFL. People
sure.
don't talk about it enough.
You
Mainly
guys
because
don't get to play any bad teams, do you?
Um, well, coming up next, it's Murderers Row. You got the Bills this week. You got the Lions after that.
Oh,
You've got,
jeez.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you've got the 1985 Bears after that. It's just a wild run that the 95
Well,
Cowboys
yeah, you
you
have the
have to play.
Patriots in week 9. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You've got
No,
a
yeah.
lot
Well,
of.
it's not even this year's Patriots. We have to play the 2007 Patriots.
So before we get into the bets from this week and get our guests in here, were there any like sort of you couldn't quite put together a bet or something like that this week or something you couldn't quite figure out what you wanted to do with
Ooh,
this?
good
Um,
question.
I tried to develop some bets for the Lions Vikings game based on who would
So did
win in a
I.
fight. How many
Yeah.
Vikings would it take to beat a lion? I had something called Campbell's Oops versus Campbell's Soups, where it was if he ran a play to a chunky guy and it succeeded or didn't succeed, but I couldn't quite figure it out because he kept running all those passes to the what the Lions game versus the Cowboys looked like actually insulting last week, where they were like
Yeah.
Penei Sewell had 3 targets.
I
And so I tried to maybe I'll save this bet for another week, but it'll be Campbell's Soup versus Campbell's Oops, and whether or not any targets to big guys goes well.
to chunky guys. Yeah.
Chunky guys, yeah, because you got Campbell's Chunky Soup versus Campbell's Creamy Soup. So it'll be
I love that.
Campbell's Oops versus Campbell's Soups will be a chunky play
That
guy. I just couldn't quite figure out the logistics of it this week.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that one works out. And I have, yeah.
Yeah. Brew is our guest this week, and he's commonly told that he looks a lot like Shawn Mendes, which is a good lookalike to have, especially coming from me, Fred Savage. But I feel like you need to. I was trying to work in Shawn Mendes into one of my bets this week, and I just couldn't figure it out. I've got three good ones. I feel confident about my three bets, but for whatever reason, I just could not get.
Yeah, I floated around like Broncos play Saints, so I tried conspiracy theories where the Denver airport has that Bronco and the Saints covered up the child sex trafficking ring. It just was tough to come up with numbers
Yeah.
because I kept doing over under 18, and that didn't feel good to hit the SEO for anything that we're working on. Seahawks Falcons are a couple of birds that play each other. I just couldn't quite land on a few different things, but I'm happy with where I finished with the three bets that I have. And also Chiefs 49ers was so loaded with storylines that are exhausting that I tried to do a Chiefs 49ers one that might not be the primary thing they talk about.
Well, the funny thing about you and I are, if you're a Chiefs fan and or Titans fan, first of all, if you're a Titans fan, you're still consuming NFL content this year. You might be on the same.
It's a capital F. You're putting the Natick in fanatic.
Right. You might be as psychotic and love pain as much as I do. But thank you. And but if you're a Chiefs fan, you will love this part, which I feel like Chiefs fans have more new fans than any team in America, just based off of Taylor Swift, who is starting her Eras tour this weekend, or restarting it. And I thought about doing an Eras tour.
How long is a tour allowed to last? Am I allowed to present this as an option?
No, that's fair. It's fair. It's been over 2 years now. It has been a year, or no, it's been a year and a half now. So that has been going on.
It's not. Obviously, it's just at some point, it's not that. It's come up. Is it maybe because it's the same songs and presentation? You call it the same thing, but how long are we allowed to do one thing? Is she in a new place?
She's coming back to the United States to cities that she did not hit on the first tour.
What could those possibly be? Birmingham? Where hasn't she been?
Roanoke, Virginia.
Right.
She's in Bismarck, North Dakota, I think.
I know. Three nights in Bismarck.
She's doing outside the CVS in Frankfort, Kentucky.
I can't think of what cities she has not been within an hour of. All right. We got to get this up. So we got good bets. I'm feeling good about it. Let's do it.
Yeah. We had a great guest this week. I'm going to introduce him here on the other side, but Josh Brubaker. So let's get to him. You have heard this guy on the radio nationally for Odyssey. You've seen him on TikTok. You've seen him on Netflix's The Circle, Kyle, with our good friend, John Franklin.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, you've seen him work in red carpets, movie premieres, all of the sorts. And if you haven't seen him, then I suggest that you should, because he is a nominee for People's Sexiest Man Alive poll for the sexiest guy on TikTok. I mean, my goodness, ladies. This is going to up our demographic with the ladies this week for sure.
This is it.
To me, this dude is this generation's like Ryan Seacrest. Probably the coolest thing about him is he's just a genuine dude. He is Josh Brubaker, aka Brew. How are you,
guys?
Man?
That is amazing. Thank you so much. I never get intros for anything. It's always just like, well, here he is, and so thank you for that.
Someone just points at you across the table and you start talking.
That's it. And as audio guys, I just want to win that people thing for us. They never see us.
Yeah, right.
We never get any love.
Yeah.
So we're changing the narrative, but
rebrand the face for radio to something good.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We're changing the phrase, but thanks for having me. I have a love of sports, and I know this is a podcast about all things, but I have been like trying to get into that. So this is where it all starts, guys.
Yeah. No, I feel like, because obviously like you're on top 40 stations, you're on a couple of country stations, like you're so ingrained in music and pop culture, and, you're living the LA life and, doing the movie premieres and everything like that. I feel like you very rarely get to scratch that itch, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I did the Olympics though this summer, and that was like
that's right,
the biggest scratching of the itch. That was unbelievable. I mean,
how was that?
Come true. It's unbelievable. I mean, you look over here, Snoop Dogg, and then you go this way, and it's like LeBron and stuff. It was unreal. I mean, it was like I can retire after that. That was so much fun. I just pray that like LA 2028, I get to do a small part or something, because it was a blast in Paris.
I'm
Right, it'll
excited to
be-
see how LeBron recreates the iconic photo of him holding the flag on the front of the boat, but just in the dried up LA River on a rickshaw.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Right.
dude, it's gonna be. I don't know what they're gonna do to this
Just
city to
in
make it look good.
traffic, holding the flag out the window of his car. I think I would be a fan of that.
It'll be a car flag. Yeah.
He tried to take the 405 during rush hour to the Olympics.
That's all we got. That's all we have to
Right.
offer the world.
Yeah. Geographically, the LA Olympics will be closer for you, but it will probably take you longer to get to, right? To any of
Absolutely.
the events. Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking of just renting my place and just making some money and leaving for a little bit. Like, I'll pass on this one. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Well, guys, you can join the over 5 million people who follow him on socials at Brew on the Radio on Instagram and TikTok. Kind of gives a great behind the scenes look into the world of radio, which I always love and appreciate.
Yeah, man.
Now, listen, Brew, if you're you're pumping elbows with the Hollywood elites. You're working the Olympics. You're on Netflix and getting the residuals for that and everything. You're obviously a man of means. So and Kyle and I also have some money. So since we are so wealthy, the three of us, we like to take the fake winnings that we make on this podcast and in turn donate them to a fake charity. So is there a fake charity that you will be playing for this week, Brew?
Absolutely. And I'm very proud of this one. It's fairly new, but it is the Aiden Hutchinson Tibia and Fibula Donation Center. We are looking for matches, anything to get him back by the Super Bowl. I mean, it's a very experimental process where we just take the whole leg. So if anyone has a match, strap it on there. You got to be a bodybuilder or something of that size, but we're going to make it happen.
If we had you on last week, the Detroit sports optimism swing that has happened in the past 7 days has been a huge change.
Yeah.
Last week, the charity might have been the "Can I get a ticket to a World Series game" charity.
Yeah.
And now it's "This guy's leg, please."
Yep. We'll link the GoFundMe, but it's dark. I mean, beating Dallas by 1,000 points, you think we'd feel so much better, but
it did feel good to watch as a fan of not Dallas. It felt really, really fun to watch.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think legs are supposed to wrap that way. Like, I don't think they're supposed to wrap around a defender's leg.
Looked like a cartoon, honestly.
It did.
And and hearing a snap on television, I don't know if you heard it, but that was just...
I feel like the guy who was holding up the big sound thing, pointing towards it, probably pulled his headphones off and was like, sorry.
Totally. He went. He's in therapy right now.
That's it.
Okay.
I said this to Austin in the intro, but I saw it because I wasn't watching the game as it happened. I saw it just on a tweet that said "crazy play for Hutch here." And that was the video. And I was like,
oh, great.
You have to tell me that's what I'm about to see. You can't just I thought he got a cool sack.
No warning is crazy.
Absolute. And everyone in the replies was like, "What are you fucking doing, dude? Tell us what we're about to see."
That's why we need censorship. Let's we need more
I'm
of
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Dan Campbell gives him 2 of his leg bones. I'm surprised he didn't do it in the locker room or in the tent.
With all the kneecaps he's eating, I'm sure he could just cough some up for him.
Oh
right?
My God. It's gonna be interesting.
So the Aiden Hutchinson Tibia Fibia Donation Center, was that what it was?
That is correct. Or my secondary one, the Max Crosby fund as well. Try to get him to Detroit.
Trade for Max Crosby fund.
Either one's fine.
Either one.
Man.
Maybe we'll split the winnings this week. Okay. Well, Brew, listen, we Kyle and I each have 3 bets we're going to deliver to you. We'll reveal them to you first, and then we will turn to you to put your $1,000 towards any of the bets. We just ask that you do bet on at least 2 of them, and one of them's got to be your lock, which is double the winnings and triple the losses. So, Kyle, what do you got first for your first bet of the week?
We have to tell you the honor I mentioned. The bet that didn't make it today because I couldn't lock it down, which we also talked about already, was the Campbell's Soups versus Campbell's Oops bet, which would have been how many plays Dan Campbell ran to chunky guys. And I wasn't able to quite get it in, but boy, was it fun watching guys over 340 pounds have like 9 targets in a football game.
Wow.
You can tell Dan Campbell is like that. Like, he's a bigger dude. Obviously, he played tight end when he was a pro, but you can just tell he's like, I got the bigger guys' backs. Like, I'm going to draw up as many plays to just fat men as possible.
I love it so much.
The ultimate disrespect. I mean, he was just like, how disrespectful can I be to these Cowboys and just send Dan Skipper, 7'5", 400 pounds, down as a wide receiver. Oh my
It
God.
felt like he doesn't like Jerry Jones, and I think because he used to play for the Cowboys, right? Doesn't it feel like there's some sort of like lingering thing there where he's like, "Oh, you guys didn't think I could coach," or something?
Definitely
like
definitely trying to send him to an early cardiac.
It's like from the Andy Reid school of you didn't let me just run the clock out of this game, so I'm gonna make highlights against your team.
Absolutely, he's lucky he didn't get charged with elder abuse at that point on his birthday. Crazy.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh,
man, that's a good one. It's a good honorary one. I'm excited then.
So I couldn't get a line for that one. We'll hold on to it. I've got a few bets here. The first bet, I'm a Chiefs fan, and they're playing the 49ers this week, and this is the game of too many tired storylines because everyone's going to be everyone's exhausted of these teams being around each other for being teams that don't play each other.
Yeah. Well, we got 2 weeks of this game literally earlier this year before the Super Bowl, and now we're getting our third week of 49ers.
And the Chiefs came off a bye, and 49ers off Thursday Night Football, so it's like even 2 weeks of Chiefs coverage about it, 10 days. I'm exhausted. I have a bet that's basically unrelated. How many times do they mention a player who used to play for the other team and now plays for one of them? So many Chiefs 49ers players have switched teams throughout the years. This is like drop before they were weird rivals from the Super Bowl. This was what everyone. Alex Smith, Joe Montana, Steve DeBerg, a lot of even just quarterbacks that have played for both, let alone Elvis Gerback. And currently Charles Omenihu, Justin or Jerick McKinnon, who's not on either team now, but played for the Chiefs and played for the 49ers before that. Charvarius Ward plays for the 49ers, used to play for the Chiefs. How many times do they mention a player and then that he played for both of them? The line is at 3.5 different players.
Okay.
Do they count Taylor Swift playing in both stadiums?
That's a good question.
I will count that. Okay, I will count if they're if they show videos of her.
Right.
And so how many different people do they mention in the terms of both of these teams?
God, with Taylor in there, that's way over. Way over. Yeah. I don't know if it's a lock over.
She can only count as one. She can only count as one.
And her Eras Tour kicks back up this weekend. So she won't be there. She won't be in attendance. So.
Wow. Okay, so she's out. Never mind. I did not know that, and now I'm going to watch this game and probably notice every single time when they mention. I never knew the history of those teams.
I think they're going to pan up to an empty chair sitting in the suite.
Yeah,
and
she's
just
not here once.
3 music producers you've never heard of high-fiving air.
Yeah.
Director, the broadcast director after Travis Kelce makes a catch is going to be so confused as to what to do. He's like, I don't know, cut to camera 2. I don't know.
Right. The string theory is crazy.
Cut to Jonathan Taylor. I don't know what
the muscle memory is just there. Whenever Travis does anything, let's cut to Taylor.
These are the caterers from their last after party.
He's really been doing a service to everybody by not catching as many this year.
Wow.
So we could ease off of the shots a little bit.
I'm going to go, without Taylor there, I've never noticed that they mention players from the former. I'd go under actually now that I think about it because it's just the Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy conversation at this point. I feel like that's all.
So the only way I think this could hit the over if they do one of those look at all the time, because sometimes they have a pre-made package. But you can hang on and we'll hear all the bets. You might not even want to bet on this one at all. The next one I have is called... this one doesn't have a name, but there's 3 games this week where the teams have the first letter that is the same. The Bengals, Browns, the Rams, Raiders, and the Chargers versus Cardinals. So over under 1.5 of these games where the scores of both teams also start with the same number.
Oh, so a 27-20 type game?
Yeah, 11-10 or a 9-7, because I'll use the 0 digit in the front.
Wow.
Okay.
So over under 1.5 of those 3 games, Bengals, Browns, Rams, Raiders, Chargers, Cardinals, where the score also starts with the same.
Jeez. That's a lot of thinking.
Yeah, you also can. You should see, my notes don't even make any sense for what I wrote down for what that is.
Jeez. So
and what's the over under set on that?
1.5.
1.5. Give me the teams one more time, the matchup.
Bengals,
Browns. So that's going to be different.
19,
there's no way.
Yeah, that could be. So that's 20-19 would be a lose.
Well, the Browns can't score more than 18
and
points.
They just got rid of
scored more than 18.
Cooper just got traded. They're negative points, man. They're getting safety scored against them.
Right.
Okay, and what was the other one?
Chargers, Cardinals.
To add a wrinkle into this, I won't use the 0. So 30-3 would be a win. because they
Oh,
both start
okay.
with 3.
Ooh, I
don't
like
know.
that.
I don't think that's going to come up.
wrinkle.
Or 20-2. I don't think that. I don't 70-7. I guess this isn't going to come up. I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm possibly saying. Last bet, maybe the worst bet I've ever made in the history of the show. Probably an offensive bet that we're definitely going to cut out of the show.
Oh man.
We'll put, just Austin, make a time code of this one.
Okay, yeah.
The
we'll
Jets
edit
play the
this part out.
Steelers. The Jets play the
Oh,
Steelers
no.
this week. This bet is called Jets Fuel Can't Melt Steel Teams.
Okay.
Can't be associated with this.
Over under 1.5 plays of exactly 9 or 11 yards.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Exactly 9 or 11 yards. Neither team had one last week.
Exactly. I love that bet because I feel like 9 or 11 yards, like that is you see
Just,
that
you
multiple
love
times.
9, 11. We'll clip that.
No. We're editing
He
this
said it.
out. We're editing
Get
it
him.
out.
So this bet's called Jets Fuel Can't Melt Steel Teams. The Jets play the Steelers.
It's a great joke.
This is a tweet that I sent out once when I used to work for a at the time prestigious comedy television network live tweeting NFL games, and this was the last one that they let me send out before they said we're actually good on this as an idea.
Oh yeah.
And that was like week 8.
That was for Comedy
it was like
Central's
week 8
Twitter,
of a
right?
regular season, and they were like, "We're wrapping this idea." I'm like, "Are we?" or have I been let go?
Yeah.
So you don't have any research department. This is all you. Just like you had to go check to see
This
how
is
many
all
9-yard,
me.
11-yard.
This is all me. And you know what? We'll even add a caveat right now. If either team has a play that's united 93 yards exactly, you get
Oh my God.
All right, Kyle. We need you to stop.
It's
you
either
get
a
a
president or
5-time multiplier on your bet.
Man,
Okay.
I am terrified of your brain, like to be inside there.
Yeah.
and see
What
those
are you?
thoughts.
Most doctors?
That's when you know you've been in the comedy scene for way too long.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
So
kudos
those are
on
my
that one.
3. Chiefs, 49ers, multiple players or played for both teams. Teams with the same name, and Jets, Steelers.
Yeah, I was like, why?
Okay.
Why would I not bet on all these? I see why now. You're like, you only have to do 2. That makes sense now.
Yeah. I mean, and
understand.
mine are usually
Yeah.
the simpler ones.
It's also
Wow.
why we have you hold and make your bets at the end because you're like, okay, yeah, I know which ones to avoid at all costs.
I don't even want imaginary money taped to that one. It's like the imaginary Epstein log. I don't want to be associated.
Oh,
All
you're
right.
talking about Revis? We called that the Revis Epstein
Yeah.
Island.
Yep.
Man.
All right.
Unreal.
So my first bet is called the Music Shitty Miracle. Titans Bills take off or face off this weekend, and whenever the Titans and Bills get together, Titans fans love to reminisce about one of the greatest plays in franchise history, which just so happened to take place a quarter of a century ago. The Music City Miracle, of course. Now, the Titans radio broadcaster on that call, Mike Keith, has the famous quote of saying, "There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle." So I want to know, on any special teams plays in this game, are there any flags on the field? But as people that listen to this podcast every week know, there is a caveat with this bet. Now, normally we go with will Levis be memed this week?
We have a running, what would you call it? Like a modifier to a bet where if Will Levis becomes a national meme, it messes the bet up. And that's happened
It hit
5 out of the 6
It has hit every
weeks.
week. We didn't say it hit this past week because we felt like people were trying to force the meme at this point. But
I see.
So it has hit for 5 of the 6 weeks though. And keep in mind they were on I think they were on a bye one of those weeks. And but I'm not going with that caveat this week. I'm actually putting that one aside. Yeah. For this one, I'm going much simpler. Do the Titans pull off another Music City Miracle? And that is just simply winning a game.
I thought you were going to say, do the Titans score a touchdown?
Yeah.
yeah, right.
On
also,
TV.
Scoring more than 17 points in a game would be a miracle. So if that caveat hits, if you were losing the bet, you win it, or if you were winning the bet, you lose it. So it basically flips the bet on its head.
Who do they play again?
Bills.
They play the Bills, so it's not
geez.
likely.
Oh,
it's
man.
not.
I would have been on the meme. Honestly, I'm surprised you said you had to grasp for straws. I mean, I swear every week. Last week, didn't he almost kill a guy on the sideline?
He did almost kill a guy. Yeah. It was.
Why was the guy on the sideline if he didn't want that happening, though? You know.
Yeah, who put that?
Why is a guy on the? Why is a guy on the sideline of a Titans game? Like, why are you there?
Probably
That's
looking for
red flag.
work.
Asking for it at that point.
He was a backup quarterback.
Ready to go. Lined up. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Something to
Okay,
think
so
on.
that's my first one. My second one. Hey guys, we haven't yet talked about it on the podcast yet, but my birthday is on Monday. Not to
Hey.
brag. Yeah, look, see you guys. We can talk about it later. There are 2 Monday night football games on my birthday, and of the 4 teams playing, I want to know on October 21st how many teams score. Final score is between 10 and 21 points. I'm setting the over under at 1.5. So if half the teams score between 10 and 21 points, you win the bet. If you
So
take
there's
the over,
so there's 4 teams playing: Cardinals,
4 teams
Chargers,
playing.
Bucks, Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
How many of these teams score between? Did you not want to do like a scoring bet because you didn't think any team could score as many points as your age at this point?
No, that's mean. That's mean, dude. That's mean.
Almost on his birthday week too.
Yeah, come on, dude. Look,
God.
and I'm not that old yet. Okay, I've still got like 4 or 5 more days.
Yeah, but you're not. You're definitely Chargers, Cardinals older. You might not be Ravens old.
I'm Tom Brady on the Bucks age almost.
Oh, I just meant score. So if 2 of these teams score between 10 and 21, that's how you get the win.
Yeah, if 2 teams, if you take the over, you can take the under if you don't think anyone's going to score between 10 and 21 points. Obviously, their final score, 10 and 21 points. The Ravens at Bucks and the Chargers at Cardinals.
Oh.
And this one also has a caveat. Since I am a Dodgers fan, if the Dodgers win, the reverse happens on your bet. So now it's not.
Do you mean win as in like make the World Series?
If they so there
or
is
any games until then.
As of right now, it's an if necessary game. So we don't even know if they're going to make it to. I think that would be the night of Game 6 of the NLCS. So if they do play and they win, then the reverse happens on your bet.
This is like the Apple terms and conditions fine print podcast. I'm like, it is so hard to like. I need
what
notes.
is if the Chargers and Cardinals score between 10 to 21 points, but the Dodgers, if necessary, game is a Dodgers win. You don't get the outside
I thought this was
in.
an NFL podcast.
Happy birthday, Austin. I had a stroke doing the math for your thing.
I'm smelling toast in this podcast. Gosh, I love that. Let's throw in some curling over-unders in there as well.
Yeah,
for the
right.
Winter Olympics coming up too. Okay,
my last bet is the math that goes into setting the clock on a VCR. No, my last bet in honor of our sexiest man alive who's joining us here today, which you've got our vote, Brew. I just want that to be known. You've got our vote.
Every vote counts.
Vote early, vote often. I say that every election.
Look, it's an important.
I'll get you a sticker.
If there's one thing you vote for this year, let it be Brew and the people sexiest man alive for the of the TikTok guys. So last year in the sexiest man alive for People's Magazine, we had Joe Burrow. We had five NFL players represented. Joe Burrow, Braxton Berrios, who's the wide receiver for the Dolphins, Alex Early's boyfriend. Oh, yeah. Jonathan Owens, who is Simone Biles' husband. Travis Kelce, who I believe he is dating Taylor Swift, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Jason Kelce, who is just dating, he's just married to someone. But I want to see just how sexy these guys are. Between those guys, are there between 6 to 9 scores this weekend? Now, I will give a couple of stipulations. Jonathan Owens obviously is a safety, so he's not going to be, scoring any that many touchdowns. So if he gets a turnover, forced or recovered, that counts. And then since Jason Kelce is not even in the league anymore, Travis's scores will count as double this weekend. So he will score for any scoring play. So if Joe Burrow throws a touchdown pass and then runs for a touchdown pass, that counts as 2, obviously. So will there be between 6 to 9
Who
scores?
are the people again?
Joe Burrow, Braxton Berrios.
He's just return man. He's got to return a touchdown from kickoff
which
to score.
He did a couple of weeks ago. So very possible. Jonathan Owens, Travis Kelce, and Jason Kelce, so Travis is times 2.
And Jonathan Owens are just turnovers.
Yes.
I mean, what if he gets a turnover and a touchdown? Is that 2?
Yes. Yeah, because Jonathan Owens did score week 1 on a blocked field goal. So it is very possible.
Between 6 and 9 scores for those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll say if Bruce scores this weekend too, that counts as well, which I'm sure was likely to happen.
Well, that changes everything. Oh man.
Great.
No,
it's like, babe, please, I got to hit on this fake bet on this podcast.
That feels with insider knowledge or insider whatever. Doesn't feel right, but I'll take it. Wow. And that's our bets, huh? Man.
That's our bets. Yeah.
This is
I gotta be honest, I don't feel good about any of them.
Oh yeah.
They're hard. It's hard. Look,
this is a particularly awful week for simplicity's sake. These are all pretty complicated.
Yeah, you are our 7th guest, and I think half of our guests have scored positive, half of them have scored negative, and one of them scored literally $0.
Yeah.
So it is you're in good standing as of right now already.
Okay.
You're about right there in the median.
I feel pretty lucky today, and I always do well in roulette in Vegas, so I'm excited to just throw some chips around and see what happens here. So how do we do this? You guys run them back, and
I'll sort of give you a brief rundown on what they are, and then you just tell us how much you want to bet on which ones you want to bet on.
Okay.
There's the Chiefs 49ers. Do they mention over under 3.5 players who played for both teams, like within that context?
Yeah. Who's on that game? Do we know the broadcasters?
It's Brady.
It's Brady.
Oh yeah, it's the Fox game of the week.
If we're talking oh gosh, I don't know why.
Collinsworth.
If it's Collinsworth, over a million.
Yeah.
Here's a guy who used to play. Yeah. But Brady, I don't think he knows.
No, I don't think those are his coworkers.
Yeah, he doesn't think like that. Maybe he does. I don't know. He's too new.
And then there's the teams with the first letters: Bengals, Browns, Rams, Raiders, Chargers, Cardinals. Over under 1.5 of those games where the scores start with the same number. Then Jets, Fuel Can't Melt, Steel teams. Plays of exactly 9 or 11 yards. Over under is 1.5. And if there's a 93-yard play, you win 5 times. Because the Pentagon has 5 sides. And
no, we got that. Got that one.
The silence wasn't out of not knowing.
It wasn't inquisitive silence.
Yeah, it was intentional.
The music Shitty Miracle. Are there any flags on special team plays? But if the Titans win, it flips it. Austin's birthday. Do over under 1.5 teams score between 10 to 21 points. Dodgers win on Monday. Game 7 is Monday.
Oh, is that game 7?
Yes,
oh, okay.
Would flip it. And then do Burrow,
I could have a
Kelsey,
really crappy birthday.
or Owens combined for 6 to 9 scoring plays / turnovers.
Sheesh.
Jesus.
I
don't even have room to write what people bet on this.
Yeah, we should have told you, Brew, to bring a pen.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. I'm like sitting here with I don't even have my phone, so I'm just trying to get the Matrix in front of me. The Zach Galifianakis meme, like, okay. So the ones that feel good, like I said, I like roulette, so I like the simple, like putting the money on red or black, and I'm going to put it on the Dodgers winning Game 7. So if they win before Game 7, does that count as them?
Yeah. So what you'll do is you'll bet on the bet, and then if the Dodgers win, that flips your bet. So you'll bet over 1.5. 1.5 teams. So Ravens or Bucks or Chargers and Cardinals. If you think it's going to be 2 or more of those teams score between 10 and 21, then
but if the Dodgers win before 7 games, then that doesn't even come up. Because
The Dodgers have to play on the birthday.
I don't care about that.
7.
Whatever
it's going to go 7 games just to make Austin stress out on his birthday.
Absolutely. But I think they're going to win. So I'm playing the flip regardless. Like I'm just putting whatever the bet is to put the flip. I will bet a third of the money.
Okay.
$333.33.
Okay, 33 cents. Okay, we now only the second guest ever to bet on
cents?
To bet cents on a bet.
Yeah,
I feel good
and
about
the
that.
last one is currently at negative $2,998.75.
Wow.
In week 3. So you're betting, but how many teams do you think will score between 10 to 21 points?
Yeah,
and
over
you're
under
planning on this flipping.
Run me the teams real quick again. It was Chargers at Cardinals?
Ravens at Bucks, Chargers at Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going to go over. But
over. Okay.
I'm still playing the flip, so I don't know if that.
So if the Dodgers if they make it to that, then yeah.
I don't know what's going on. This is why I don't
No,
gamble.
no. I just
look,
wrote
bro.
some arrows down on mine, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, I don't even know what any of this means.
He's writing down his
anymore.
dinner tonight.
Yeah, I'm doodling. I'm doodling a picture of.
Okay.
Goofy.
All right, so you have
Trying to keep this in mind.
6.66 left.
That's just demonic. We got to get rid of that.
Yeah, maybe don't throw that one on the Jets one.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Seriously. The we got to do the people's one because I feel like that's got some good juju on it. So the men who are nominated to who would score.
Yeah, from last year's People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. They were Joe Burrow, Braxton Berrios, Jonathan Owens, Travis Kelce, and Jason Kelce. Do they score between 6 and 9 times?
Travis's count double.
Either you take between or you take outside of that. If
two of the guys don't even play anymore.
Yeah.
Or one of them's defense, one doesn't play anymore.
Right.
But it counts for turnovers. What does who do the Bengals play?
The Browns.
The Browns. I was going to play the up-down theory that like Joe Burrow finally had a good game and he ran that crazy touchdown, but something tells me he's going to tweak something or he's going to.
It's a good point. It's a good possibility.
I just feel the under there. I feel the under. Yeah. I don't think no tight ends have played well this year. I don't think Travis is going to play super well either.
If Travis goes like somehow has 2 touchdowns, that's 4 towards it, but he has none this whole year.
And
I
Taylor's
can see the
not
Chiefs
there
forcing him one. Andy Reid really likes to pick and choose who he wants to score in regular season games, which is why they never score touchdowns near the end zone. We'll see. Yeah, who knows?
And the number is 6.
It's between 6 to 9.
It's between 6 and 9. So if they somehow score 10, obviously you miss out. So so how much you want to put 333 on that?
Austin, all your bets are like Price is Right games.
Yeah,
they are.
How much for the mac and cheese?
Yeah, $1, Bob. $1.
Yeah.
All right.
So it doesn't even matter. There's no over under. It's just that in between that. I don't think it's
in between the 6 and 9. It won't be 10. It won't be 10.
But if I score, I could rig it a little bit.
If you score, right.
Eesh.
You're like, babe, please just listen to this podcast so you can see you can help me win.
This is for Aiden Hutchinson's leg.
That's so true. Well, we'll play it by ear. You know, if it comes around and they're either teetering on 6 or 9, I'm going to be either celibacy or I'll be,
Yeah, right.
That's how I'll be playing that. But I feel good about them not hitting.
Is that another 333?
Absolutely.
Okay, so 333. So what do we have? Do we have 333 and 33 cents left?
34 cents left.
34 cents left.
This is the big one.
This is a big one.
What was one of the first ones again? It was
how many times they mentioned players who played for both the Chiefs and 49ers? That's at 3.5. The 3 teams with the same first letter have the same first number in their score.
That's hard. That's
not doing the Pittsburgh thing. Oh no, I want to do the
any flags on
shitty miracle.
Music Shitty Miracle.
That's what I'm gonna put it on. Yeah.
So are there any flags on special teams plays? So it's really simple, just a yes or no, but it does come with that caveat that if the Titans do win, which they won't, you either automatically win if you're losing or you lose it.
That's like winning. A caveat that's like, I'll buy that house, but if I win the lottery, I'll buy that house.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you. That's Kyle's a Chiefs fan, so he's like, he's sitting
I actually think that the
for
Titans might win because Josh Allen is really good at these, like, have a crazy game in prime time, and then when they play at the random, 10 a.m. game out here, sometimes he just lays an egg against a crappy team at 10 a.m.
Look, I'm hoping.
He's got Amari Cooper back there too. He's probably going to be trying to lob up some balls that are just they're not in sync, but he's going to be force feed them.
He's not going to know the playbook yet, you guys. Like, I love that philosophy. You guys are making me feel more
Josh
confident
Allen
about
play
the Titans than I've ever
out
been.
And bootlegs out and maybe throws it.
I mean, we all win. We all win when there's a meme, at least at the end of the day. But that feels like a lock to me because
the lock.
That's going to be because that's why I'm putting 1 extra penny on that one. That's my lock.
Yeah, right.
And, I mean, you get if they happen to win, great. I win regardless, and I think it's a pretty safe bet to be betting on the special teams flags. Do I have to say yes?
Yes on a flag.
Yeah. So you think there will be a flag on the special teams play, and it's any special teams play: field goal, punt return, kickoff return, anything like that.
Is it for both teams or just Nashville?
For both teams.
Oh yeah. Well, there's going to be a flag.
Okay.
Anything's possible with this Nashville team in terms of flags and penalties. And
one of the Bills
they
special
had
teams players
113 penalty yards last week.
Oh
so, yeah, you're right. You're right.
And the Bills, I mean, the Bills have a special teams player who died once. I just think that there's a chance for flags.
Is that a flag or is that a?
Yeah.
It is if you do it twice. They give you a warning.
No, we can joke about it now because he's alive again.
It's crazy that he died and his teammate wears the Guardian cap.
Hey, to be fair, the Guardian cap would not have helped him on that.
That's true. He's wearing a Guardian chest.
Oh my gosh. Just bulletproof Kevlar vest.
Just a Kevlar. He just has the little, what do you call it? The defibrillator is just built into his uniform.
That's awful. And they're pretty close to Memphis, so Kevlar makes sense. They probably should have that.
Yeah.
That's a lock. That feels really good.
I mean, we got a high potential of scoring here. This may be a first place score you could land on here.
Look, it's very likely, bro. Like
I am going.
Yeah, I mean, look, and you're a man of luck, obviously,
so
and
true.
So I feel like that you laying it all on the roulette table of this podcast, I think could pay off big. Now,
that's what I'm talking about.
The one thing we do have to ask before we let you go, is there anyone that you would like to set out the public challenge for that you think you would be able to beat on this podcast?
Oh man, that is a great question. Who would be a good guest that? You know what I would love? I would love to see my buddy Malcolm Rodriguez, who plays for the Lions. He loves sports betting. As far as I know, I mean, he always talks to me about, but maybe he's not. I don't think he can legally because that's what happened to Jameson Williams.
If Calvin Ridley's on the table, we can see.
Maybe he can put us in touch with Calvin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But he would have a blast on this. He loves prop bet. We talked about the Super Bowl stuff and the Gatorade colors and everything. I feel like he'd have a blast. And I think I would beat him, though, because we're both competitive guys and we always give our best effort. But I feel really good about my bets in this week. And you know what? I quit fantasy football and all that stuff because it ruined the game day experience for me. I just was so stressed.
Sure.
This is going to take that for this week. I'm literally going to be watching is it a flag?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You're like saying that counts for Jason Kelsey when someone scores a touchdown is going to be just a crazy thing to be saying in front of people.
Man, the conversation I might have to have with my girlfriend is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, babe, I'll explain later. Just meet me in the bedroom, please.
I need this before midnight. Amazing.
Drew, you're the man, dude. Thank you so much, guys. Everyone follow him. I mean, everyone's already following him, but at Brew on the Radio on Instagram and TikTok. Honestly, some really, really great content there. Brew, you're the man, dude. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You're insanely busy. You're probably still getting over your jet lag from the Olympics. So thank you for taking the time, man. And we look forward to seeing how your bets play out. Good luck.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. This is a blast. Super creative and fun. Text me what the results are because there's no way I can keep track of this. I already forgot what I bet on. So
yeah, right.
Thanks a lot.
Next time we have you on, we'll make sure you bring a pen.
Jeez, got to study for it. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thanks again so much for having me. Nice to meet you. Kyle, it was the best, and we'll talk to you guys soon. I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Brew, thank you, brother. We appreciate it, man.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks.
Another big shout out to Brew. That was so fun. You know,
he's awesome. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of with everything that he's got going on in his life. Just the most down to earth dude ever. Yeah. He's a super cool, very genuine dude, and just a lot of fun, dude. Great sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
And a great mind for sports too. I feel bad because when you're in that field, when you're in that world, you don't get a chance to scratch that itch very often. So I'm glad that he got an opportunity to do so with us, even though it is the weirdest scratch possible.
I would say this is like someone else, like you scratch it, but your arm is asleep.
So it feels like someone else scratching your itch. Yeah.
Let me lay out mine. I'm going to bet on all 6 this week. I'm going to go for a 6 for. I'm going to bet $100 on the under on 3.5 people being mentioned explicitly for playing for both teams. 150 on the over for same first letter, same first number. 250 on the yes 9 or 11 yard plays hit.
That is
I think there might be a 93-yard touchdown that really blows us out of the water.
Just the uncomfortableness of that bet. Just fantastic.
Wait until
Oh
my
my
January
gosh.
6th bets, and then I
Okay.
have $100 just to see how DC plays and see if they get if the weather is good or if the capital gets a
Yeah,
storm.
if
And
DC gets taken down on J6 for sure.
Music Shitty Miracle, I'm $100 on yes. Austin's birthday, $100 on yes for over on that one,
Mhm.
and then $300 on the under for the touchdowns. I think Travis is going to score 1 and Burrow is going to score 3.
So what is that? That would be 5. So you're taking the under.
Yeah. And I'm gonna lock in Jets Fuel Steel teams.
And how many, what was the over under set on that?
1.5.
Oh my god.
But if I lock that in and there's a 93-yard kick return or something,
I want to take that in so bad. I want to. All right. Okay. Let's see here. 700, wait, 6, 900. Okay, I'm doing 100. And my lock is
what?
okay. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Sorry. I was doing math in my head. Sorry, I forgot we were live there for a second.
You guys couldn't see it, but Austin blinked, but one eye at a time, kind of sideways, like the guy in the beginning of Men in Black.
What a reference. I'm going $400 as my lock on the Music Shitty Miracle. Fun fact, I was at the Music City Miracle, and I'm hoping to witness a second one this weekend, even though.
So you betting no on the flags?
I'm betting yes on flags. $400, that's my lock. Yes on flags. However, if that does,
if the Titans win, you'll be happy about something.
That's right. It's kind of like, that's what Colin Cowherd always says, is like bet against your team. So that way, either way, you come out a winner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over on my birthday bet with teams scoring between 10 and 21 points. I'm gonna put $200 on that. I'm banking on defenses coming. Oh, this is a dumb bet.
Too late.
No, I'm already doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it. Over only $200.
You're really prepping yourself for birthday feelings right here. Whatever.
Yeah.
This is dumb. What time is it?
I'm ready to be hurt on my birthday. Especially if the Dodgers are playing a Game 7. Gosh, I can't. Playoff baseball is literally the death of me every single October, and it's because I'm a Dodgers fan that it is literally the death of me, because I never get to see them go all the way.
You did that one time, but it was just because of the death of 3 million people.
That's the first time I've ever heard it explained that way. And I appreciate it. That's awesome.
It's a real it's like the trolley problem. You pulled the lever to avoid it running you over, and instead it ran over 3 million elderly people.
It's I like to think of the Dodgers as essential workers that during that time. I'm going to take the under on Sexiest Man Alive. I don't think they get between 6 and 9 scores.
All right. How much?
$300 on that. And then I have $100 left. So I am going $100 on the Jets Fuel Can't Melt Steel Beams.
Great.
And I'm going over on the exactly 9 or 11 plays.
Okay. Well, there's some good money to be made here.
I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous about it. Also, credit to Brew, because I think he might have been the first guest that we had that did not take any notes while we were doing this. Because it's always funny.
Especially complicated week as far.
It was our bets are not usually this complicated. We'll usually have like 1, maybe 2 that are pretty complicated.
This was like 5 Austin bets. I also didn't want to say
in honor of my birthday, which I
didn't want to say to him while he was going through them to never forget. I just thought it wouldn't have been the phrase to surmise the Jets fuel melting steel teams.
If there is a doing lines for this podcast that people come up with fake bets just for listening to this podcast, over on Kyle's
doing lines
jokes. doing lines.
Yeah. Bet then GM, where you're the GM of betting on us.
Every time we've had a guest on, we'll get like maybe 2 bets into the podcast, and right away they realize, oh, I need to be writing this down. So you'll see
Yeah.
them kind of scrambling for a pen or something. Brew was just could not stop locking eyes with us the
Yeah,
entire
he was
time, and
focused.
just he stayed laser focused.
Well, I
So
hope everyone
shout out
gets
to
their
him.
bets in. It's week
Yeah.
7. Everyone have a good NFL week 7. Austin, have a great birthday Monday. I'm sure we'll have lots to celebrate.
I hope so. Gosh, I'm so nervous. I sports are literally my lifeblood of whether or not I'm happy. And so,
You
and
say
this
you
past
just had
weekend,
another kid?
I
Y-
mean, a year ago.
Yeah, but so you have a 1-year-old, but you're saying sports is the lifeblood of your happiness? I just want to get this on audio.
All right. Ed Kyle Ayers on Instagram and Twitter, and then Ed Kyle Ayers things on
Wow,
TikTok
that's
to
almost
follow my guy Kyle. Very funny comedian. I do encourage you to follow him, especially if you love movies.
Follow Austin,
Definitely
father,
follow Kyle.
husband, gets happiness from sports exclusively.
All right. Listen, I'm okay because my wife doesn't, nor will she ever listen to this podcast. Although with Brew on this week, there's a good chance my wife may tune
she'll
in
at least
this
get a
week's
Google
episode.
alert for it finally.
At Austin Huff on Twitter and Instagram if you want to follow me. But follow Korked Bats, guys, at Korked Bats. It's Korked spelled with a K. Follow us there to stay up to date with this podcast and the winnings and losings of fake money from our guests this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, rate, review, subscribe to all that nonsense. But Kyle, you got anything for the road?
Everybody just have a wonderful time, and I have to renew my California plates.
Oh, that's never fun. That's never fun.
I might get the one with Snoopy on it that supports museums. All right, how about you?
Okay, never mind. That is fun. I take that back. I was too quick to speak. All right. Good luck on your bets, everyone. Love you.